This is Beyond Stars Productions. Hello and welcome to Star Power, a 13th Doctor special of the podcast for everything. So, little quick thing before we get into everything. We don't have a connections round. You'll find out what we've got in place for that later. But joining me to talk about the 13th Doctor, we have Katie Haynes,
A pleasure to be here.
Oliver Smith.
Hello again.
I'm going to butcher someone's name, and it might not be who you think it is. Liz Horun?
Yeah, you got it right. Usually I'm a lake.
Okay, good, great. And Aoi. Aoi is also here. Aoi is not how to pronounce the name. How do you pronounce your name, Aoi?
So that version is just the letter A, essentially, but the full name is Aoibhin, and I will get you to look at the actual spelling of it at some point.
Good luck.
Evening? Evening like Evie?
Oh.
Aoibhin, like Evie with an N at the end.
Evening. Oh, like evening. Like because I was thinking EV, like the Pokemon.
Cracking start. Right, we'll dive straight into the questions. Question one, I am pretty sure we've all been Doctor Who fans before Jodie was here. So we'll, rather than being like, oh, did Jodie introduce you? What was your first reaction to Jodie Whittaker being announced as the Doctor? I think Katie might want to go first.
All right, I'll be quick. But I was a fan of Doctor Who for a long time. I wasn't a mega fan. I was a fan, it doesn't matter, until Jodie came along. But at that time, I was huge into Supernatural. And I was waiting in line to get into the panel. I was at an SPN con. I was waiting in line to get to the panel, and my boyfriend, now fiance at the time, messaged me, new Doctor dropped. And I saw the photo of her, and in this line of people, we're all here for Supernatural. I go, everybody, the new Doctor is a woman. And everybody clapped and whooped and cheered. And I was like, yes, about time.
Absolutely love that. Oliver, what about you? What was your first reaction?
As a 15-year-old, I was shocked, and I think I'll be honest here, I wasn't thrilled when it first happened. I'll be honest, and I'll put myself out there. And maybe for the first hour or so, I wasn't overly happy about it, but I came to terms with it, and I was like, you know what? Give it a fair shot, as you should everything. And yeah, I remember because she was coming in, and the BBC, sort of really, I don't want to say hammed it up, but they really sort of were like, oh, before she's playing the Doctor, she's playing a nurse or a different kind of Doctor in this drama, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was called. But I remember I watched it because I was like, you know what, I should see what I'm getting into here, because I hadn't watched Broadchurch, and so I watched this sort of medical drama, and it was brilliant, and I was like, you know what, look forward to it, and yeah,
Trust me.
I think
Trust me.
she really came in and took me by surprise. Yeah, trust me, that was it. So
For those listening, Katie's just come in with the copy of Trust Me on DVD.
I think, not being thrilled about it initially was probably one of the biggest mistakes of my time as a Doctor Who fan, and I willingly hold my hands up there and say I was wrong, and yeah, I'm happy to admit that.
Fair. I mean, I wasn't sure either when it first happened. I was kind of like, oh, this is quite a big change. But I wasn't like opposed to it. It was just kind of, I need to see where this goes. And then by the time they did her costume reveal, it was like, yeah, no, I'm sold. This is fine.
Yeah, the costume reveal was brilliant.
Yeah, I think you need to see them as like their doctor. And Jodie's like reveal outfit is gorgeous, but it wasn't her doctor.
No. Yeah, the costume reveal, the photo you got with the TARDIS in the background, and oh, just the coat blowing in the wind, absolutely brilliant, and that sold me. That definitely sold me more than her performance. And trust me, actually, it was just there's the Doctor.
Okay, Liz, what about you?
I mean, my first reaction is like, oh, I know who that is. Because for every Doctor besides like Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker, I did not know who they are. Because it's like, I don't know who David Tennant is. I know who Matt Smith was. I didn't know who Chris Guston was before they became the Doctor. But it's like, oh, I know that lady. That's the lady from Broadchurch. Neat. And then it's just like, oh, okay. I can vibe with this. This is fine.
Okay, nice, short, sweet.
Yeah.
Aoi.
Yeah, I was kind of the same. My family, we all like our crime dramas, and we all would watch Broadchurch together. And while it is really funny to look back at now as a Doctor Who fan, because Chris Chibnall in particular just went, "I know you, you're going the new series." It was nice to see because I knew she could really act, and I was thrilled at the announcement. I thought it was about time. And as much as you sort of grieve for the old Doctor, I was like really, really excited to see her get started.
Good, nice kind of range of answers there. We'll move straight on to question 2 then, which is Doctor Who has a very, very big history. What do you think 13's biggest contribution to that, outside of being the first female Doctor in the main timeline? Stress on main timeline. Shout out Joanna Lumley, and Barbara Benedetti from the fan films. Katie, would you like to take this one first?
Do you mean in terms of herself as the Doctor or in terms of her storyline?
I would say either or, because they both do contribute to the history of the show in one way or another.
I'm gonna go big. And as much as people no, you know what? We're not gonna do that. I genuinely think it is the timeless child. And the thing about that particular story is that the more you think about it, the more it contributes to the Doctor in the tragedy of their life. You have to remember this is a person who, by all accounts and purposes, cannot die and will live forever and will see everything and everyone, whether it's Capaldi or Ncuti or Tom Baker, everyone they love will die. They will watch the earth burn. But there is still, knowing that, there is still this hopefulness, this joy, this love about her. Someone pointed out she is the only Doctor that got all of her companions home. She made a promise, I will keep you safe and I will get you back home. And she regenerated with a smile on her face. So she is, at her core, hope and love and acceptance, despite this heartbreak and this realization of so much has been taken from her, but she still chooses to do the right thing.
Yeah, very, very much nail on the head. I think when it comes to the timeless children, what I don't get is all these people that say, "Oh, it makes the Doctor the chosen one." I'm like, no, it really doesn't. It makes the Doctor a victim of torture. That's not a chosen thing. They're not they're not special in any regard other than that they were taken and tortured. I don't understand this whole big, oh, it made the Doctor big and special and chosen one. I'm like, no, no. It made her story tragic, and it put the Who in Doctor Who again, I think. Because now we know very little about it again. We're back to square one.
And also, the fact is, the chosen one thing has been done for every single Doctor. We saw it with David. We saw it with Matt. Um, like the Doctor is at their core the eternal old figure and the eternal child, and having that kind of balance is um, it's heartbreaking, and I just her energy is so infectious, and the way I think one of her best episodes as the Doctor is Orphan 55. I do not care because Jodie is her doctoriest in that episode. It's the reveal is phenomenal. And you know what? If you don't want environmental episodes, stop killing the planet.
I love that. Love that so much. Ollie, what about you? What do you think is 13's biggest contribution outside of being the first female Doctor in the main timeline?
I was saying I've got to go down a similar route to Katie, I think. I think this overwhelming feeling of hope and joy that 13 provides. Like, you know, obviously, if you look at ways that, characters like the Doctors cap off their series, I mean, you know, you have David Tennant who spends every series finale at the end looking just miserable or going, what? But at the end of Jodie's first series, you have that great message, travel hopefully, the universe will surprise you. And I think she's that great embodiment of hope. I know we said we weren't going to go into gender, but obviously she gave a whole generation of young girls someone to look up to, beyond just inside the main show. She did all those little lockdown shorts, just giving people hope, speaking to people. Like, that is what the Doctor should be about. Like, she encapsulated so much of that. And, she really brought a beauty and joy into this character. Like, it's very difficult, taking over a role that has been, at the time when she took it over, it had been going for nearly 55 years, and there had been so many actors who'd taken on the part, and so it becomes very difficult to stay true to the character but finding something new to do with it. And she becomes this embodiment of hope despite so many dark things thrown her way. Obviously she has her darker moments, as every Doctor does, but it doesn't engulf her. And it's part of the reason why I'd argue at times that she's a better incarnation than Tennant, because I feel like she could so easily go down that darker path, but she chooses to stay true to the core of what the Doctor is. Like, I went through a very, very dark period, towards especially towards the end of series 12, and obviously with the first lockdown I was in a very horrible dark place. And especially, like, the Doctor, like, obviously my favorite was Matt Smith and still is, but the sort of ones that I found the most comfort in were obviously him as my favorite, but Jodie, because she weathers so much in her journey, and she still goes through the entire thing with a smile on her face. And I think she has such a wonderful she has such a wonderful regeneration. It's none of that mopey, cringy, I don't want to go shit. It's I'm disappointed that I won't be the one to know what happens next, but I'm excited that I get to go on this whole new journey and experience this change. And I think there's so few characters in fiction Obviously, Superman did it really well recently, but there's so few characters in fiction that embody hope so well, and I think for that alone, the 13th Doctor is a character that we all need.
Can I add on? Can I add on to Ollie to you? One thing that you said. She also does, and that comment of oh, the Doctor's the chosen one. She is, for a non-human character, there are moments where she is so human. Can you imagine, genuinely, can you imagine 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 on Saranga actually having a moment of reflection and saying, hold up, I am being selfish. I am putting people in danger. I'm sorry. Can you see any one of them doing that? Having those human moments?
Not any before her. I think since her, you could make a good argument for. And I think because of who she is as a character, it categorically changes the Doctor going forward. Because we see a lot of them avoiding responsibility. Like Capaldi's second finale is all about trying to avoid the responsibility of the situation he got Clara into. 13 accepts that responsibility and carries it forward in future incarnations, and I think that's a great testament to her character as well.
Liz, what about you?
I mean, I think I'm gonna break a little bit. I'm gonna say, like, it definitely brings a different scope because, like, they actually film like a lot of Jodie's stuff like outside of the UK, and you can tell, like, just filming it in South Africa, like they're still filming in like big giant desert places, like in the Timeless Monument, but it's like it's a different, you know, deserty looking place than usually whatever quarry or big field in England that you tend to find. Like it's like, oh, I can actually like, or when they did the Nikola Tesla one where it's like, oh, that that still doesn't look like really New York, but like it's at least not some part of London that they kind of slapped an American looking sign on. Like you can sort of tell like, oh yeah, they're in a different spot.
Yeah, the production value definitely went up in 13-0. There's something so beautiful about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of like, oh, I can actually tell like they're in a different location. It's not the same 6 streets in Wales over and over again. That's like has like a little different little tarp put over it. And it makes it big difference because it's like, oh, Doctor Who can go anywhere in time and space as long as the budget is, not too crazy. So it's just like moving things a little bit to the left, like helps you out.
Aoi, what about you?
It is kind of hard to stray away from the Timeless Children because that's just, it's so big lore wise. And I think, I don't know, like obviously you can go anywhere in time and space with it, but from Christopher Eccleston right through to Capaldi, we're kind of dealing with the fallout of the Time War. And there's only so many episodes you can get out of that sort of stuff. It was a great reset for the lore, and I think that's what's going to carry forward most of all. But I think the way she carried herself throughout it, you could, like, especially with the Timeless Children, you could sense that she was genuinely angry about what had been done to her, and I just think her performance was fantastic, and the fact that we now have a new sandbox to play in is also fantastic. And it's just it's hard to like put it into words, but I think that's what's going to be carried forward the most. And I hope, like, I know it's a controversial thing, like not everyone loved the Timeless Children, but I personally did, and I thought it was a great writing choice. So yeah, that's
I mean, it is very much been carried forward because obviously they made it a thing in Shooty Zero where he reflects on it, he talks about it. 14 talks about it and about the flux when Wild Blue Yonder. So they're definitely carrying it forward, and I think Timeless Children definitely has had that big impact.
I'll admit it took me a while to warm up to it. I think the original argument was that, oh, it destroys the Doctor Who canon. It really doesn't. It doesn't, because we still have, there's nothing within the Timeless Child that destroys what was done from Hartnell to Capaldi. And I think something that people forget is that this is something that the Time Lords would do. They are the Time Lords, and this is, we've seen it. A lot of it has been talked about in Classic Who. Colin Baker. I should have stayed here. The older civilization, definite degenerate and rotten to the core. At their core, the Time Lord Society is based on imperialism and superiority. And as others have talked about, it was a conscious choice to make the original Timeless Child we see a child of color. And for Tecteun, a white woman, to experiment upon and essentially torture a child of color in order to create this superiority, along with the talk of colonialism, that's a part of Doctor Who. Like, that's something that needs to be talked about. I'm no expert on it, but having it, that is something that the Time Lords would do. They are that cruel. They took the Master was a child. They tortured children to become these, figures of superiority. It's absolutely something that they would do.
And I think a lot of people miss the fact that people are like, oh, it's such a new thing, oh, it's ruined. Dude, they literally started laying the seeds for it. I mean, granted, they were going down a slightly different route, but they were laying the seeds for it in the McCoy era. That's like 80% of the McCoy era is, oh, there were 3 founding fathers of Gallifrey, Rassilon, Omega, and the other was meant to be the Doctor. It's literally been there for decades. Like, you just hate it because someone's picked up on it and done it in a way that you don't like. 80% of that is people not liking that there's people of colour as the Doctor. Let's be honest. Or with the Doctor. But the thing is, it's been there. Like, buddy, the call is coming from inside the house. Like, it's there. This era that you like, oh, it would never have happened in the Classic era. It was happening right at the end of the Classic era. You can't miss it. It's right there in front of your face.
Admittedly, I have not read Longbarrow, but it is like a massive fan favorite. Is that not also like a continuation of Cartmel's plan? Like, it's like you said, admittedly, the Timeless Child went a different route. Longbarrow also kind of went that route, but in another direction. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The descriptions of the house in Longbarrow are very similar to what you see in War of the Sontarans, where you see that broken apart house that keeps sort of, I can't think of a word, but going or something. That was a terrible noise, but you get the gist.
We'll move on to question 3, which is a bit of a personal one, and I'm sure Casey's going to love this. What is it that makes the 13th Doctor hold a special place in your heart?
I'll try to keep this short. Number 1, I will never forget, I think as Oliver pointed out, the messages that she sent out during COVID. Because this was a time when I was in a kind of a Doctor Who slump. I wasn't following it, but something about her message stuck with me so much that during COVID, I binged his series. And this was the first time in all of my time of watching Doctor Who that I was literally, when it came to Flux, I was watching the episodes as they came out. And I had the biggest meltdown in Village of the Angels. I was inconsolable. I was not okay at the end of that episode. And it was the first time that I watched a live regeneration. I sobbed at Matt, but I was I can't watch it without tearing up. It was, for me, not only have her episodes opened my eyes and gotten me back into Doctor Who, I have a character that is now woven so much into me. She has become my second half. She's an extra voice in my head, reminding me, don't just be the Doctor, you got to be Katie as well. She has become so much a part of my conscience that she reminds me to always practice what I preach, to be kind, to be reflective, to um, help others, to help myself. She challenges me to do things while I'm afraid to do them. And I love Jodie. I love her. But the Doctor has done so much for me that there is literally no way I can thank Jodie Whittaker enough for playing this character. I was at a con, and people, a young person came up to me, and they were just kind of standing there, and they were shaking and getting emotional, looking at me. Jodie helped do that. The Doctor helped do that. And I'm doing voiceover work now. I'm acting again. The 13th Doctor has literally opened the door of her TARDIS to me and said, you can go anywhere you want in the universe. And that is something that can never be repaid, can never be truly thanked. She literally gave me a second heart. And I know I talked for a while on this, but I cannot put into words what she means to me.
That was beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank you, Katie. Oliver, do you want to go next?
Yeah, that's a tough one to follow. Oh God, I'm a bit choked up by that. Jesus.
All right. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
We're all getting emotional in the podcast. Let's go.
It's difficult to. So, like, I think, obviously going back earlier, the hope, and it got me through a really dark spot, and I was in another one at a later point, and I remember, um, oh bloody hell. So I went to my first big Comic Con because they announced that Jodie Whittaker was going to be there, and she was the first Doctor that I met, and I was absolutely shaking. I was terrified, and so I'm in the queue and I'm proper shaking. I was sweating. I was terrified. I was dressed as Tom Baker. I hadn't committed myself to dressing as her yet, and that's still something that I need to do down the line. But I was terrified and I was really nervous, and I I come up to her, and as I'm walking towards her, it's a very, she has that higher, and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and so obviously at the time, so this was her first con, and she was pregnant at the time, so we were like, be careful, she might not want people touching her or anything. Pulled me in for a big hug, and I said I had brought my 13 Sonic, which she held for the photo, which was amazing, and I said to her, I'm really nervous, and she said, "Oh, don't be nervous and don't blink," and pointed me to the camera. And that brief interaction was so wonderful, and she was so wonderful to talk to when I got my autograph from her as well. And obviously, this was a start of me going to these cons and meeting some amazing people, and partly that's down to Jodie Whittaker. being at that one. But I think, like Katie, I sobbed during Power of the Doctor, because it was it was seeing this person who had been this sort of almost guiding light for a really dark period of my life going, and the fact that it very much felt like I could be okay afterwards because she was okay with going. And it was a beautiful, like, it was a beautiful final story. And then I think what encapsulates that even more was um sitting down in the cinema watching the reality war, which I was not enjoying, seeing the faces flick through and hearing that voice, and I wept. I was already upset about Ncuti leaving. I was not happy, but I wept. It was tears of joy. And genuinely, I've got a friend who did not enjoy that episode at all, but said that Jodie Whittaker's moment was the best moment of that episode, and the one moment he did enjoy, because she came back and she was bubbly and as bright and as beaming as ever. And I think it says a lot for that hope, and being hopeful, with looking forward to change and moving forward with it. That the face that was pulled back for Gatwa's Doctor, the final face that he would ever look at, was the 13th Doctor's. The Doctor that was pure hope, pure joy, and embraced it to the end. And she tells him to embrace it with a smile, go out with a gorgeous smile. And I remember, regardless of anything else in that episode, I had a smile on my face, because that's what she said for us all to do. And I think she brings so much joy in every little moment she's in. And I can't wait to see and hopefully see, but definitely hear more from her. So yeah. Ian / Barbara is being shown on Katie's cam. God. Oh, Vampire Weekend. When we get to that, oh, so many words.
Oh, don't get me started.
No chickens were harmed during the making of this podcast.
Oh,
I do have a friend who has a live chicken that she has named Barbara in honor of that.
God,
Nice.
Yeah.
Liz, what about you? What does the 13th Doctor mean to you?
I mean, I hate to follow up with such emotional declarations with the fact that, like, I like the opposite side of 13, where she's just she's very, like, closed off and very, like, once you have to get to know her for her to actually be like tell you anything. And then because it's like it's more of like a delayed reaction, because like the way she reacted to every monster or sort of uh like problem that would come up was like the way I would react to something. Like it was like a little delayed reaction, because it's like during like the episode where the universe was a frog, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and a universe is a frog. And then immediately, like 30 seconds later, Jodie Guerrero's like, oh my god, you're a frog, that's great. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. And the fact that she doesn't know how to like really respond to when people who she cares about tells her something heavy and things like that. And I'm like, I do that too. Oh my gosh. And then people gave her crap for it. I'm like, okay.
She's a very autistic coded Doctor, and I love that
Yeah.
for her. Aoi, what about you?
This seems a bit shallow after hearing all of that, but this was the first sort of Doctor I had where my friends were also watching it. And it meant that I could come into school, because I was still doing my A-levels whenever she was first cast, and I could talk to my friend about it and be like, hey, what did you think of the episode last night? Just something to catch up. I would have watched Peter Capaldi with my sister, but this was like outside of the household. And it turns out whenever I went to uni, I met a friend there, and I was like, oh, I quite like Doctor Who. And she was like, I quite like Doctor Who as well, expecting her to be like, yeah, I stopped watching after David Tennant, like every other person I've spoken to. And she was like, yeah, I really, really like the Bernice Summerfield books. So it was like, you're on my wavelength. So we sat and we watched The Power of the Doctor together, and it was just, that's what she means to me. Like, that's that sort of friendship, that sort of connection with people, because I feel like the casting of Jodie really got a lot of people who maybe wouldn't have been interested in Doctor Who into it, or it brought old fans back in again. And it's just, that's what she means, like, to me, just that sort of connection.
Okay, I'm going to throw my own answer into the ring for this because I've mentioned on a couple of podcasts before, be it this one or the An Awful Lot of Running one I do with Jack, shout out. So I was already questioning my gender beforehand with Elsa from Frozen. It was gender fluid for ages, but then Jodie came along, and that's where things really sort of clicked, and I realized, okay, I'm not gender fluid. I'm just trans. I'm a trans woman. And Jodie kind of helped me overcome that, kind of get comfortable with myself, realize myself. And this was also at the same point that I started dating my husband, who we dated, I think it was the day of Jodie's first episode. We started going out. And we got married on the day before Legend of the Sea Devils aired. And 13's era kind of encapsulates a lot of my relationship with my husband and my relationship with my gender journey. Obviously with my wedding, I was dressed as 13, he was dressed as Sasha's master, and Katie is flailing like a Tumblr user on crack. So yeah, I think 13 in a basic form is just love for me. It meant my husband, it meant my gender. Love that. Love that. Katie is showing little 13 and little Sasha on screen. Very cute. Very cute. And yeah, no, 13 to me means love, I think. Which very much works with the whole Katie, would you care to do me the honors of doing the little love speech?
Star, what's your husband's name?
Cass.
I know there aren't many certainties in any of our lives, but Star, Cass, what I see in you is the certainty you have in each other. Something I believe in, my faith. Love, in all its forms, is the most powerful weapon we have, because love is a form of hope, and like hope, love abides in the face of everything. You both found love with each other. You fought for it. You believed in it, and you waited for it. And now you're committing to it, which makes you two right now the two strongest people on this planet. Maybe in this universe.
We should have so had you at the wedding.
I have married people as 13. I've done that speech for others.
I have done that speech in my vows. That is part of my vows to Cass. We also put a clause in that he has to listen to me ramble about Big Finish.
God damn it, that's got me again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, we'll get off the emotion train. We're talking of Big Finish, which was a nice accidental segue of me. Now that Jodie is at Big Finish, what are we wanting to see? What are we hoping comes from this? Aside from more chickens.
I want more of the development and growth of the romantic and I want more of the growth and the love between 13 and Yas. I want to see that play out to the point where Dan says, "Have you told her?" I want to see more of that. I just want more of it. I want more of 13. I want Sasha to come in at some point. I want the three of them. Come on. The three of them in a voiceover booth together. Come on. Give me a three-parter of that. That's all. Like, take my money, Big Finish. Take my money.
I'm going down a different route. And this is no disrespect to Thasmin at all, but I need to see 13 and River Song, or I need to hear it.
I knew that was coming.
I need to hear it. I need it. Like, I need it right now. I would like to see 13 encounter some more of the big monsters. Um, hell, even some of the weird lesser known ones that Big Finish seems to love using, like the Vord or something. Um, I desperately want to know what her first returning monster is, because obviously with the 9 series, we've been hinted that we know what one of the returning monsters are for the 9 series are the Autons, but I want to know what they're bringing back for Jodie to face. I'm trying to think what would be really great for her.
Bring back Tim Shaw.
Candyman.
Oh yeah, Tim Shaw.
Actually, I want more explanation. I want more exploration of the Stenza. I think we didn't get enough of them. They were kind of dropped off. I've got a whole rant about the Stenza, but I would love to see them more in the audios as well.
I think I'm looking at my shelf of Doctor Who figures to see which sort of classic monsters and stuff I'd like to see her do. Because a lot of the ones that I would normally suggest, she actually did. Like, I love the Sea Devils, and I was glad to see them come back. I love the Sontarans, and she's done them really well. Oh God. You know what? I'm a very simple man to please. I would take more Dalek stuff. I like Dalek stuff. Yeah, I would really like I'd really like a proper sort of I'd love 13 to be put in a far more gritty story than she got on television. I'd like her to get her very own sort of resurrection of the Daleks, just one that's absolutely like Resurrection of the Daleks, obviously, is a fucking miserable story for all the characters because it's got the highest body count, I believe, of any Doctor Who story, except obviously probably Flux, but on screen of how many people you see get killed by the Daleks. And of the Daleks you see get killed, it's the highest body count of any story. And it's really just only the TARDIS trio who come out of it alive. And you have that moment where Tegan walks away and says it isn't fun anymore. And I'd really like that sort of level of story for 13. I'd like it with the Daleks, but getting to the point where Yaz, despite her feelings for 13, questions if she wants to continue seeing something so dark. And I think if you give 13 a really dark moment where Yaz goes, hold up a minute, I know I know I love this person deeply, but they've just shown me the kind of person that they can possibly be. And I think, having that sort of interpersonal drama is something that I would really like to see get explored deeper. But I am just going to default to my first answer. Definitely 13 and River Song. I need that. I really do.
It's a good answer.
Also 13 and K9.
Yes.
Yes. I need that as
Liz,
well.
what about you? What do you want to see from 13 at Big Finish?
Well, 13K9 is always a plus. I really would like to see more. It's a silly answer, but it's Dan. I need Dan the man. I need him back. A man so uncomplicated and unserious that he just exists to be Dan. He needs to come back. He got too little time.
Big Finish, Evil Dan series. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Give us
Yes.
Evil Dan.
I actually applied to I did a story for the Big Finish, the fan contest they do every year. When I did it this year for 13, and I had Dan like it was like a Christmas episode where they go to like this AI amusement park, sort of like a Willy Wonka but Christmas themed. And, and then it would have Dan accidentally get confused for an evil Dan Smith that's like somewhere out in the universe, and he gets chased around by a robotic Santa. Like that was my day.
I love that.
I want that. I want that weird wavelength because my submission was also a Christmas Eve semi Dan story.
He's the man.
I went completely different. I put 13 on her own because I thought that should be something to be explored a little bit to see what she's like without the companions. And I kind of made her go down a bit of a darker route because we do have those darker moments where she, you could argue that she is being a little bit manipulative, like some past incarnations. And I was like, I think I did one where, what if 13, because she didn't have the answers to what was going on, manipulated someone to the extent that they like really lose their like temper with her. And I was like, because I think there's not like I don't like, there are some moments, but I don't think 13 gets like some really major moments where people call her out like other doctors. And it was something that I really, that's what like my entry was sort of focused around, was someone saying, hang on, what are you doing to me? Which I think is a great moment for every doctor, because every doctor sort of has that moment, and the way that they react and respond to it shows what version of the character they are.
Aoi, what do you want from 13 at Big Finish?
So I will admit, I don't really have a favorite doctor, but 13 is sort of on the same level as 8 with me. So I really enjoy things like the Chimes of Midnight, Seeing Eye, Scherzo, where it's just messed up body horror, and it's like, wouldn't it be messed up if this happened to characters? Wouldn't it? So it's not so much a person or an enemy I'd like her to face, but I would kill for Rob Shearman to come back and write an episode. I think he did it so well.
I would kill for 13th Doctor Scherzo.
Yeah.
I'll tell him that when I see him at the
Please
BFI.
do.
I'll be like, "Oi, Rob, do it." Also, 13 and 9. 13 and 9 would be a great crossover, especially considering Eccleston has said in like interviews and stuff, she is the one doctor he would consider doing it with.
Weren't they in a play together at some point as well?
Yes.
So they were. He was Creon and she was Antigone.
Yeah. There we go. I would love that too.
Well, with that brings us on to question 5, and the last question before what I would like to have as the quick fire round. Question 5 is, if you had to take 13 and place her into another episode of a different Doctor's era, she replaces that Doctor, which episode would you pick? And I'm going to sound like the worst person, but I kind of want to see Jodie Whittaker do Heaven Sent.
I went a completely different direction. I want to see her do the Lodger.
God, 13 trying to live normally would be great.
No. What? I thought you loved 13. Why would you put her with James Corden?
No, I don't. Take James Corden out, replace it. Take them out of that equation. I love that episode. I love what's the episode where 12 goes undercover as a janitor?
Caretaker.
Put her into caretaker.
Get rid of the problematic right. Wait, that writer wrote both of them. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I've just ruined 2 episodes you really like. Oh, well, no, he wrote.
It's all right. There's still closing time. Wait, no.
School, you know what? School reunion. Put her in school reunion.
You've stolen my answer.
No!
Yeah, my answer was going to be school reunion. I love seeing her with Tegan and Ace, and I mean, Big Finish could do it with Sadie Miller. I'd love to see her with Sarah Jane. I'd cry.
Yeah.
Actually, Sarah Jane and oh my god, Sarah Jane was like the female companion of the classic era. She defined it. She was like people have said she is very written to be a feminist. Oh my god. What? Have them together. Like, put 13 in an episode of Smith and Sullivan. That's great, by the way, as well. 13, Harry, Sarah, and K9. Oh my god, that's just $1 million idea right there. I'm copywriting that. You've heard it here from me first.
Let me put something to you. 13 in Genesis of the Daleks.
Ooh.
While you're mulling that over, Liz, what episode would you put 13 in?
Ah, oh, I would go way classic. I guess put her in. I would say Tomb of the Cybermen.
That is a very good episode. That would be very interesting to see. Aoi, what about you? Where you dunking 13?
I'm drawing a blank on actual episodes and thinking Big Finish, actually.
No, that's
So
fine. That's still fine.
I'm like the traitor, as in from Dark Eyes with Livchenka and Eight, where Eight just has a horrible time and it's like they're mismatched. So Liv has met Seven before, but then Eight has also met Liv before. Like he's met her as Seven, and then he's also met her again. So they're not like linked up in terms of timelines. I just think it would be messier with someone further down the line who has traveled with Liv and has already left her off. Or Project Lazarus, because I just really like Hex, and I think that he deserves more family drama with the Doctor.
Good shout all round.
What's the phrase? Did you kiss the brick before you throw it? Like, are you supposed to kiss the brick or not kiss the brick? Because I'm about to throw a brick.
I am not sure because I don't think I've heard the phrase.
It's something about did you kiss the? Well, I'm just going to throw the brick. 13 and Zagreus.
Oh. Which would set us up nicely for that 13 Scherzo I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, great answers. Great answers around the board there. Well, with that, I think we can just move on to our quick fire questions, which are all about favorites. Favorite episode? Casey, you're first.
Orphan 55.
Ollie.
Gonna go War of the Sontarans.
Liz.
I'm gonna go with the was it the frog one? It takes you away, right? That was the frog one. I'm bad with titles.
Aoi.
Village of the Angels.
I'm taking Power of the Doctor.
We got 5 different answers, guys. Yeah.
Okay, now we've got to do it again.
Wow.
Favorite moment? Katie, putting you on the spot again.
Actually, I'm going to go with the. I'm torn. It's either the interactions between 13 and Spy Master, or the solar tract, the frog. You are the maddest, most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Ollie?
It feels like a cop out to say it, but God, Guardians of the Edge. Just seeing her interact with all the past Doctors was. Mwah.
Liz?
There's a lot. Well, I'll piggyback off Ollie's answer, and I'll say the part where she was talking to Shooty.
Aoi?
I quite like the bits post Spyfall where she's just like really pissed off all the time, and it's like, well, I could build you with spam and some crayons whenever someone tries to stop her in Orphan 55, actually.
Good answers. I'm going to go with the first I'm the Doctor moment she has on the crane. That one was like that was the Doctor for me moment. Next question. Favorite outfit combination? This one's definitely in Katie's ballpark.
You know what? I love all of her looks. I gotta go with Master Doctor.
That is a good cover.
We did not get enough of her in that outfit because she looked. I mean, she always looks, but that.
Ollie?
I'm going a bit niche with this one. I'm going a bit niche, a bit renegade, if you will. I'm actually going to go for. Bear with me on this one. I'm going to go for the Haunting of Villa Diodati look. That waistcoat, man. Absolutely. Oh, the fact that that was just used in that one episode was criminal to me. God, I would have given anything for that to come back. It's difficult to think of an episode it would have really fit in, because obviously Flux becomes difficult because obviously it goes one straight into the other, so there's not really much time for them to change. Maybe I'd say, ooh, I mean, she could have worn it in Power of the Doctor in the Master Doctor costume, but then that loses the jumper. But no, it's the waistcoat variant. It's like, especially, I believe she has a scarf when she goes to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the waistcoat variant with the scarf, absolutely.
Liz?
I like her, what was it, the night mode court? Like when she was having hallucinations, pretending to be like she was having those flashbacks when she was Joe Martin.
The division coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
It's a good coat. It's a good coat. Aoi.
I think it's the same answer, and it's kind of a cop-out anyway, but the coat that Time wore, like the inverted colours, I thought that was a really nice look, and it's a shame that we didn't get to see it more.
Spyful. I like her in a little bow tie.
Shit, I forgot about Spyfall. That's a really good one.
Okay. Favorite 13th Doctor era specific villain?
The Master.
Ollie?
I don't want to say the Master, but
You can. The Master was great. Katie said the Master. I'm probably going to say the Master.
You can.
you know what? I'm going to take the Master and the Ravagers.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Liz, what about you?
Well, it's but yeah, the Master is one of them, but I really liked who was it? Oh, I'm blanking.
What episode?
I forget the name, but it's like the main Sea Devils. Like I really love that episode, and I love the Sea Devils coming back, and I thought they were really good.
Aoi?
Evil Dan. But
Correct.
yeah,
Correct answer. Correct answer.
No, John Bishop is lovely, but you just can't beat the Master, and you could tell that Jodie and Sasha really fed off each other's energy, and every scene they were in was just incredible. So the Master as well.
I'm also going to say the Master.
Manda did ask about Evil Dan.
God.
When if you go to Gallifrey One, there are these like drink meetups that you can have with the actors, and she was asking about Evil Dan. She was like, "Where did it come from?" I was like, "It was the when you called him Bradley Walsh," and they had been talking about that meme. Sorry, I know I talk a lot.
Okay. No, you are okay. You are shining. Don't worry. 13th Doctor era companion. I'm gonna go straight for Yaz. Straight for Yaz.
No, I can't because I know I will steal. No, Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla.
That's okay. Okay, that's a good pull. Good pull. Ollie?
God, this is going to be possibly my most controversial answer of the evening. I'm going to go Ryan.
Ryan's amazing.
Yeah, Ryan's great.
No, I agree. I like Ryan.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it is down to Tosin Cole. Tosin Cole just adds so much to scenes. And you can tell, like, there is a slightly funny moment because you can tell that he as an actor, he does not have much of a poker face. And there's a moment where him and Yaz are talking about Rosa Parks, and she says it's because of Rosa Parks that I can be a police officer. And the look he gives her, like, that got a solid laugh out of me. But also the moment in Arachnids where he's just not interested at all, so he's just doing shadow puppets in front of the projector. And yeah, I think he adds so much in the background of scenes, and I've got to go Ryan.
Liz?
Oh, I think I already said this, but it's Dan.
And back to Aoi.
I don't want to leave Graham out, but I also really like Dan. So I will say Graham, but like
I guess.
Dan in spirit.
I guess I was gonna say if you go for that, I guess the chase is over for old Branders.
Love the reference. Love the reference. Love the reference. I watch that show every day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That brings us on to our audience section. Okay, so our audience question this episode is: what villain would you have wanted to see 13 clash with that she hasn't already? We got quite a few responses. Our first one being from Thomas Beach, writer of the Nikola Tesla ones from Vocalab. He writes, absolutely would have loved to see the Autons or the Meddling Monk. Even the Dream Lord would have been a good shout here, honestly. I will add, before we get into talking about the answers, he does mention Peter Beach is responding. Now, for those who haven't listened to an awful, Peter Beach has responded over there. Peter Beach is a menace. So when we get to that, that'll be fun. But I do think the Autons and the Meddling Monk would have been good. Autons, obviously, there's an opening for one of their episodes with Praxius.
I mean, obviously, yeah, I think those are good. Obviously, Meddling Monk they considered for season 9 with Matt Berry, which, whilst really good, I can't betray my man Rufus Hound. Like, that man is carrying the character on his back for like 10 years now.
That character's paid off a mortgage for sure.
Oh,
The amount he's in Big Finish.
Okay. Our next responder is Jack. Jack Alexander, host of An Awful. Jack says, honestly, what I wanted from 13, what I hope Big Finish gives, is a Christmas special. No Doctor felt as suited as Jodie for this. This is not a slight on the New Year specials, which were brilliant in their own right, and I'm glad that we had them for a bit of festive fresh air, but my heart yearns for 13 on an adventure by herself, with no regular companions with her. All she has to do is save one family in their Christmas. As to a villain, honestly, Chibnall put the best, and pardon the reuse of freshest Dalek ideas we've had in 20 years. So an entire episode or arc featuring the themes and ideas behind a group of Khalid purist Daleks would have been something truly masterful. Insert absolute cinema meme. George C. Music, who did the music for this podcast and has done the music for quite a few things now. George is really getting about the fan sphere. George says, I reckon it would have been interesting for 13 to have met the Silurians/Homo Reptilia. I know there was the Sea Devils episode, but I think there's scope for using the Silurians that New Who hasn't really yet. Something like the Zygon Invasion 2-parter, which you can show them actually trying to integrate with modern society. Given 13's characterization, especially in Series 11, I reckon having her Doctor trying to broker a peace deal would have worked nicely.
That does bring up something interesting. It would, and a story was written about this for the fanzine that was done, More of the Universe. It would be so fascinating to see 13 and Yaz interact with Jenny and Vastra.
Yes. Also, love More of the Universe. Love that. Shout out to Nat. Excellent book. I've not finished it yet, but I'm enjoying it so much with what I've read. Back on track though, we're back to Thomas, who has given us Peter Beach's response, saying, Dick Dastardly. He was then told that he had to be from Doctor Who media, not Wacky Races. Then he responded with, okay then, Peter K, the Absorbaloffy thingy. I think should be quite good against Davros. Them things with no mouth, the silence, the Autons, Cassandra, and the android from Satellite 5. Reckoning Jodie would be good at Weakest Link. The Old Master, Roger Delgado, not Sim, sorry, Cat. He's got more of a presence, but to hand it to Sim, he did play a madman quite well, much like the Rambler that Pete Beach is. Sarah Lancashire as the adipose matron. Cat also responds with not an actual thing, but just my favorite 13-year master, John Sims.
Arguably masterful did cover this. They did meet.
Yeah.
To stick up for Cat.
It was not good.
No.
It did not end well. It was briefly referenced, but I want the lead up to that. I want the lead up as like a prequel to Masterful. I want that interaction.
Okay. And our last one that we've got, because Ollie and Jack had quite the debate on Sim, interrupting the little audience response page. We'll cut forward to Joshua Carpenter, who responds with, I'd say the Draconians would be a great shout, playing on the geopolitics we've seen in recent years of countries engaged in subterfuge and violence. And seeing this in action would be fun, or even see a future where the two empires are integrated, but the general public is fractious between the species. Yaz Orion empathizing with a Draconian would have been the through line. Also, the Doctor now being a woman would be trickier, as the Draconians as a culture see females as lesser. There's just a lot to work with there. I have to say Draconians would be a move, yeah. I think the political aspect of the Draconian era in Doctor Who, it has a lot of potential that 13 could crack really, really well. What about you guys? We talked briefly about this earlier, but what kind of villains do you want to see come back that she hasn't faced? I would like to see her face the Zygons personally. I would like to see, this might be cruel, but I would love to see a scene where they develop the Phasma relationship, but the Yaz she's talking to is a Zygon, so she never actually says it.
Evil.
I now know what Casey means about kissing the brick before you throw it. Oh, I'd say the Fendal. I think the Fendal, is the Fendal, especially Big Finish did a sort of sequel story for it in Torchwood, and it kind of focuses how deeply tied the Fendal is to sort of female exploitation in media. And I think that would be a really interesting thing to sort of delve into with the 13th Doctor. She's the first female Doctor, so to sort of, put this great, piece of example of a well-served female character in fiction going up and seeing, the sort of exploitation that has gone on for so long in towards women in this industry and many other industries, I think would be a really interesting thing to explore with her.
I'm up for her meeting any previous incarnation of the Master. Missy, that would be interesting. But I would love to see her interact with Sim. Really, I think everybody covered it really well. And we have not seen much of the monk. I mean, we've heard it in Big Finish, but that would be an interesting combo.
That would actually be great. Jodie Whittaker and Rufus Hound audio. Give me it. Liz, what about you? What villain would you want to see come back against the 13th Doctor?
I would probably want to see something like, what was it? The ones from the Web Planet?
Zombie!
Just bring back all the bug people and just throw her in there. It'll be fine.
I did an audio about the zombie. Antique Antics, Who Corner to Corner. If you look it up, it's something about the zombie.
The Zarbi. No. No.
It's Mothman. Like, you could just set it in the American Midwest and it's Mothman. You're fine.
There's this Skyrim mod for TARDIS, and the villains you face in it are the fucking Zarbi. You do face the Daleks, but like your main one that attacks you is the Zarbi, and it's so wild a pick.
I can't do the Zarbi again, man. Don't take me back there.
All right, well, we'll move on from Zarbi. Aoi, what villain would you want to see back?
I'm going to steal Kitty's answer and say I'm a sucker for mismatched Doctor Master pairings, and I really want Roberts to show up. I feel like she needs a chance to really ham it up, and he is perfect for it. Feeling that, I love the Trickster. Like, I feel like we didn't explore that enough in the main show. I love the Trickster and Sarah Jane Adventures. We need more of that in the main show.
Another hit from the writer we will not name.
Yeah.
Yeah, feeling like just Miko muted.
Do you know what I would want? And this is kind of you would need the master back, but also Chameleon. Because the master using Chameleon in a modern Who episode where they actually have the budget for Chameleon, I think could be interesting.
I mean, they could always do what they should have done with Chameleon and just cast an actor.
Yeah. At least this way they might actually do something and just he's not stuck around in the TARDIS for several episodes.
That was because the only guy who knew how to operate him died.
Yeah, the Chameleon curse.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that because I don't want to curse the episode. So, with that, that brings us to our final section of the podcast, which usually is connections. We don't have something to connect. So instead, I am on the Doctor Who website. We're going to do the 13th Doctor quiz together.
Do we shout out or do we raise our hands?
We'll get everyone pick a sound effect. Kate, you pick your sound effect. Okay. Ollie, pick your sound effect.
Meep, meep.
Liz,
Burp.
AI.
Babe.
Okay. Question 1. What was Ryan's job before traveling with the Doctor?
Meep, meep.
Katie.
Working in a warehouse.
That is correct. Okay. In Rosa, we learn that the time-traveling murder / racist Krasko originates from which century?
Yeah, meep, meep.
Ollie,
It's 52nd, isn't it?
let's find out. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. In Kablam, what is the other name given to the Kablam Man robots?
Teammates.
Correct. Okay. In It Takes You Away, the Doctor tells the fam about the Woolly Rebellion, which changed sheep-human relations. How many years after 2018 does this rebellion take place?
198 years.
100 and what?
123 years. I originally said 98.
I'm afraid that isn't one of the 4 options.
What are the 4 options?
Do we want me to read the 4 options?
Yeah.
'Cause you
Yes,
guys were
please.
just
Yes,
going-
please.
Okay. 190, 191, 192, 193.
I'm going to go 193 personally.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that one's right.
Correct.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so nervous.
Remember your sound effects.
Oh, meep, meep.
At the beginning of Spyfall Part 1, a secret agent is killed on a flight heading to which city? Would you like the options?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Narrow down
Melbourne,
every city.
Tokyo, London, or New York?
Meep, meep. I think it was New York.
Okay, let's find out.
Shit.
It was Tokyo.
Oh.
There. I mean, there's 3 agents, man.
What is the name of the Time Lord who is sent to hunt down the fugitive Doctor in Fugitive
Meep,
of
meep.
the Jadoon? Ollie,
It's Gat.
little did we know that would mean something else a few years later.
Wait, what does it mean?
Oh boy, I'm not
Oh,
explaining.
you're making... No, that...
You're...
Her name is Gat. You're thinking of Gyat. 2 different things.
That sounds the same to me. But you are correct. Okay. In The Timeless Children, which of these is not an alternate name for a group of Cybermen created by the Master? A deletion squad, a recruitment patrol, an upgrade conga, a human juicing party.
Beep. Upgrade conga.
Correct. In the Halloween apocalypse, Azure is disguised as a human. What is her human name?
Who knows this?
The options are Aria, Alice, Anna, or Avery.
Meep meep.
Ollie?
I think it's Anna.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Village of the Angels, we learn about Claire's birth date. When is it? 3rd of February 1986, 13th of May 1985, 18th of July 1986, or 21st of November 1985.
Meep meep.
John?
I think it's the November one.
Incorrect.
Oh,
It
damn.
was the 13th of May.
Of May! I was like, it's the 10th of November, it's the 13th of May.
In The Vanquishers, the Doctor confronts a Sontaran trooper in a shop. There are little statues on the cash machine. What are they? I remind you, this is the BBC official quiz.
Do they think we're sad people who have nothing better to do but rewatch?
Well,
Well, the sad
I
thing is,
mean-
I should know this.
Yeah.
I should know this. You know what? I'm going to
I-
cheat.
I will give you the options: a robot and a dog, a car and an owl, a robot and a cat, or a car and a robin.
Oh, I wanted to be a cat, but that
Is that your official vote? Are you answering?
I guess, sure.
Yeah, go Liz.
Okay. Robot and a cat. It was a robot and a dog.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm looking right now. Oh, it was! It was a robot and a dog.
Well, I'd be alarmed if the BBC got a question wrong about their own series.
We're doing another obscure one that you have to have paid a lot of attention for.
Oh, God.
In Eve of the Daleks, Nick adds a post-it note next to a board game with the dates he dated Simone. What are those dates? December 20th to January 2021, April 2020 to January 2021, July 2020 to December 2020, November 2020 to January 2021.
Meep, meep.
Go on.
I'm going to go with the only one that ends in December, purely because he's going
Yeah.
in on the 31st of December. He's not travelled to the future.
Incorrect.
Really?
It's November to January.
But you're not
Oh, because
dating
it's
in
New
January.
Year's Eve.
It's New Year's Eve. That's not in January. Mm.
In Legend of the Sea Devils, Madame Ching tells Dan that her sons have been taken hostage. How old does she say they are? 2 and 4, 3 and 6, 4 and 8, or 5 and 10?
4 and 8.
Oh, incorrect. It's 3 and 6.
Oh,
Okay. Our results are 7 out of 12. We
Yeah.
are officially called part of the fam.
Oh, there you go. C's get degrees.
Congratulations on that. That was fun. I don't think I'm ever using the BBC as a quiz again.
That's fantastic.
Ollie, you're fired.
I was
And
hired
with
in
that-
the first place.
I guess. I don't know. But that brings us to the end of the show, which means do you guys want to plug your socials or anything?
you can find me at Katie G Angel 44 on TikTok and just Katie G Angel on Instagram.
Ollie, do you want to plug anything?
No. I'm just happy to be here.
Great. In which case, this has been Star Power and Everything podcast. But it's not just an Everything podcast, it's an Everyone podcast. Catch you later. If you enjoyed this episode of Star Power and Everything podcast, then please consider subscribing or leaving a comment or maybe a like or a follow or whatever it is your platform that you use for listening to podcasts does. And don't forget to look at the link tree in the description for my socials and my Discord for all things Star Power and Beyond Stars Productions. Thanks for listening.